I'm just winging these videos. I'm going to start this video with a zinger, and I'm just going to say Christianity is obnoxious. I'm going to explain what I mean by that in a moment. And, yesterday I did a video on the problems of Christianity. Please do not take what I'm saying the wrong way. I'm trying to present how an outsider might see Christianity. I was, and I still am, an outsider. I have come to understand the universality of Christ's message, and I would call it Christ consciousness. I have not read the book yet, but I'm looking forward to reading this book by this guy Richard Rohr, who's apparently, I didn't know much about him until recently, but he's written a book. He's written a bunch of books. He's like a Franciscan priest, I believe, or he's a world famous theologian on the bestseller list for some of his books, including The Universal Christ. And I believe he's getting close to what I'm going to be sharing here. And I'm sure he's grappled with these same issues. And there are voices, obviously, in the Christian world that are bringing up the same ideas, which are, and here, let me just say what some of these things are. First of all, if you look at the Bible is definitely a mixed bag or a mixed message. We have God who is a God of love, a God of mercy, a universal God, but then we have a very, very seemingly vengeful, wrathful, jealous, zealous deity who exterminates whole groups of people that he does not like. And a bunch of other things that are done in the name of God in the Bible. Even Jesus says and does things which do not seem loving, or loving in the way that we would say is loving. That's the first thing. And the idea of the inerrancy of the Bible is problematic. I don't think I think you can reconcile the idea that the Bible is the inspired word without calling it inerrant. But you could also say that about other scriptures as well. So that's another problem, is that Christianity, or let's say fundamentalist Christianity or evangelical Christianity, makes it sound as if Christianity is the only true religion. All other religions are false religions. Everything, even someone who sincerely worships a false god or whatever, is ultimately going to come to Jesus in the end. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No one will come to God the Father except through Jesus. And Jesus was special. He was the one, the only begotten Son of God. Everyone else is not truly the Son of God, unless you understand that Jesus is giving us the power to be a son of God just like him. But the way that it comes off is that Jesus was the only begotten Son. God had to punish his own Son in order to save humanity. And I think for the outsider, this is all problematic. And I think maybe the biggest and most insulting thing is if you are a follower of another tradition, let's take Judaism, to be told that you have to believe in Jesus in order to find salvation, and otherwise you are wrong and practicing false religion, again, is obnoxious, I think. And I think many other people think that way too. So this is a problem. Now, I wanted to bring in, that was my video yesterday, and now I want to bring in another perspective, which I think can help, and it is a way to make Christianity more understandable and more, I think, approachable for the average person. Because I think ultimately, we need to not exclude anyone. And most people are not going to get into these deep theological topics. Most people don't even, really read the Bible to begin with. So, I'm a student of A Course in Miracles. A Course in Miracles is presenting the problem and the solution, I think, in a simple way. First of all, it says, there are many valid paths to God. There's not only one. A Course in Miracles is only one path, is only one valid path. It's presenting a way to an approach to God through love and not through fear. And I think that's another problem with Christianity, is that is the fear of God. That God is made into into an angry, wrathful, zealous, jealous deity, which will punish those who do not believe, and in fact will you'll have to face the fires of hell if you do not believe. Now, again, a theologian might be able to explain that away, but I'm presenting, the common picture that we get of Christianity and why it's problematic. A Course in Miracles, again, is presenting a very, I think, simple solution, which is to say that Christianity is not the only way. It's presenting one path. And A Course in Miracles is also presenting one path. A Course in Miracles is not Christian, although it is Christ-centered. And it's essentially saying that God is love, just like Christianity says. And Jesus is your friend, God is your friend. No one wants to punish you, no one wants to see you suffer. Jesus was not the only way, but Jesus is a great model to use, because if you understand that Jesus found his way to unconditional love, then we can do the same, and we can use Jesus as a model. We can use Jesus as an example. We hitch our wagon to the star, which is Jesus, and we will find our way. In that regard, it can make sense, right? And it's far less obnoxious. It's even quite beautiful when you look at it that way. But I think when you get into the missionizing, proselytizing, converting, winning souls to God, and putting the fear of God into people, and making people feel like a poor, helpless sinner, I'm not sure if that's ultimately helpful. It might be helpful to help people to get their life, to start to get away from a way of living that is really harmful. But ultimately, I think you have to find the love and not the fear, right? You have to move beyond the fear of God to the love of God. And I think A Course in Miracles is presenting a way for those who have maybe been through the fear. Now it's presenting a way to get there only through love. Not through manipulation, not through coercion, not through, someone coming up to you and giving you this whole evangelical script that they've memorized of how to interact with people to get them to see see things the way that you see things. But rather, it's saying, you want to be happy. You want to know peace. You want to find your way back to inner peace, joy, love. And we all do. So here's a way to do that. Now, in a sense, Christianity is doing the same thing. I'm not putting it down. It is a path in itself. It's its own path. A Course in Miracles is for those who are want an alternative. They're not happy with traditional Christianity. And for one thing, one big issue I have, because I've come out from a Jewish background, and I've also really gotten majorly into the study of Eastern religions, which I find to be as profound, if not more profound, than Christianity. So I would never say that they are lesser religions, or that a Hindu or Buddhist is going down the wrong path. That's what is obnoxious. So this is what we're talking about here, is how to truly honor and appreciate the differences and say, yeah, there are different paths. Maybe they're all going to end up at the same place, but let's not call it Jesus per se. Let's not even, we don't have to call it Christ. Let's just call it love. Why not? Right? Unconditional love. Why privilege any one person or religious ideology? Let's just call it kindness and love and kindness. Anyway, I hope this is a little bit helpful. I'm broaching this subject. This is a very big topic. I spend all my time thinking and reflecting on these things. Not everyone necessarily does, but that's where I come in, because I'm hopefully saving you time because I'm trying to put this into more succinct terms so that we're all a little bit further ahead. But I would love to hear your feedback, your thoughts, comments, anything else. Please understand that I'm not attacking anyone. I'm only trying to present the problem and the solution. Thank you.